It's Poets Out Loud Mid Speakeasy online, July 2021, and it's great to see you all here. There's a couple of notices. Uh, the Carlisle Poetry Symposium seems to be penciled in for the 21st of August, and there'll be more details on Andy Hopkins' blog. But fingers crossed, that'll go ahead at Tully House on the 21st of August, all being well. And there's a post that just went on Facebook yesterday, I think, about Soulfest. And the call's gone out for artists and poets, looking for poets who can do very short 10-line or less poems, and they might be interested in creating some kind of artwork out of those for the festival I think that's in August as well. So there's stuff on the Facebook page about that, so if anyone's interested, just check that out. And yeah, that should be really cool. George says one of those poetry competitions is still open. Which one is it, George?
Yeah, I can't actually remember if it's one of the ones I mentioned, but Renfrewshire have also got for the Joan Early paintings that they have in their collection have a call out, but it doesn't close until the 31st of July. The other ones I think I mentioned last time closed, one on the 11th and one on the 4th, I think. But a number of competitions at the moment, I don't know if you've noticed, they're extending their deadlines. I think they're finding difficulty sometimes getting submissions.
Cool. Oh well, thanks for that, George. We'll keep that in mind and check that out. Um, I think you've all sent in things for Speakeasy 5 as well. We're sort of getting caught up on that side of things because we've been working on a few other little bits and pieces. But hopefully we'll get a look at them over the next couple of weeks, and then we can let you know which pieces are in. I think everyone who sent something in is going to have something in the magazine, and then we'll just fine tune what that is when we know what it is, if that makes sense. I don't mean to sound mysterious. It's just I don't know what it is yet. Okay, it's been an interesting week, and one of the things that caught my attention in the news inspired this piece, just called Spacecation, and it goes like this. A billionaire's joyride to the edge of space heralds the beginning of a new chapter in the tourism business for the human race. Explore the final frontier on a new grand tour, like tourists who followed a conquering nation. Soon we will say, that's no moon, it's a service station. It's a blast! Escape at long last! Enjoy a weekend break at Center Park's Mars. Or take an intergalactic cruise to the stars. A sightseeing safari to Alpha Centauri. Take the trip of a lifetime. But don't let the astro travel bug itch. For now it's the preserve of the filthy rich. You too can jet through the skies if $250,000 you invest to visit the infinite black realm of weightlessness. Before too long, we'll be bombarded with deals and special offers for interplanetary holidays. Will we soon ask, if off-world's so good, how come they've got to advertise? There you are. Thank you very much. I hope you've all booked your tickets for the next flight.
Yeah, but is it an amber zone film?
Oh well, I don't know. Yeah, it might be. Yeah. Well, it might be green, mightn't it? Maybe there's nothing else up there. I don't know. Over to you, George. What have you got for us?
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm going to try something. There is actually the words for this are actually up on my Facebook page, but they also, and I think Jeanette's maybe seen this already. I did a poem thing about Lochin. That was the title I put on at the time, but I'm now, it's called on SoundCloud, It's Time We Were Sailing. I decided that, because when I wrote it, I had the tune in my head, so I decided to try singing it. So here it is. Lochin. Come, landlord, pull the shutters tight, it's time we were sailing. I've missed these chats into the nights, our mouths with years of sailing. Me locked away 4 stories up, you nobbled by the peelers. Tonight a firkin we will sup, the company will heal us. I'll spend my dosh on your best ales, I'll swear we're friends forever. We'll swap the most outrageous tales, we'll sing old songs together. And when, my friend, we're both banjaxed, we'll sleep until the morning. I'll wake hungover, but relaxed, for good times are returning. Come, landlord, pull the shutters tight, it's time we were sailing. I've missed these chats into the nights, our months with years of sailing. Me locked away 4 stories up, you nobbled by the piers. Tonight a firkin we will sup, the company will heal us. I'll spend my dosh on your best ales, I'll swear we're friends forever. We'll swap the most outrageous tales, we'll sing old songs together. And when, my friend, we're both banjaxed, we'll sleep until the morning. I'll wake hungover but relaxed, for good times are returning. Come, landlord, pull the shutters tight, it's time we were sailing.
Brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Is that available on SoundCloud? Yeah?
Yeah, I put it up in SoundCloud. It's under George Coquito, and I put it up as Time We Were Sailing, because I decided that was probably a better title than Locked In. But when I wrote it, I called it Locked In. But I hopefully would actually live beyond Lock-In, because it's kind of, I do have this vision of once being in a pub, in a place that I didn't know, which was a really rough pub, and I was a young callow teenager, and suddenly the lights all went out and the shutters came hurtling down, and you think, oh my God, what's happened? And then very dull lights came back on, and you realised that all it was everyone was still in there drinking. But I also then realised that I didn't know how you get out.
Oh, wow. Well, that was great, George. I had to listen to it because you sent a link, I think it was a couple of months back, wasn't it? And there was about 4 or 5 pieces you linked to on some.
That was a different thing. Yes, I had done something else. Yeah, occasionally, I've got old enough that I don't care now whether people like what I'm singing or not. I just do it.
It was good. Liked it. I liked it. Yeah, got a good response. Yes. A receptive audience. We liked it. Cool, man. Thanks very much. Follow that, Val, if you dare.
Well, I'll try. I suppose we've all watched the match on Sunday, the Euro final, which is just kind of about how I feel the emphasis has gone from being glad somebody won something to, if you don't win, you're a loser, basically. So it's just sort of about that, really. It's called Playing the Game. Once, playing a game was about having fun. It didn't matter that much if you lost or you won. I was always told right from the start, the most important thing was to take part. It was not life or death, it was only a game. And if we lost the match, there was no shame. Then if on occasions we managed to win, the cheering would start and elation set in. But now you're expected to win every game, for losing means failure and someone to blame. It's winners that count, forget all the rest. There are no celebrations for being second best. But we cannot all win, someone must lose, and no one has the right to complain or abuse. For I still believe deep down in my heart, it's not about winning, it's about taking part.
Really well said, Val. That was really tremendous. I think you summed everything up really beautifully there. Yeah, we got a lot of love in the comments there, and yeah, excellent. Yeah, you're dead right about all that. Yeah, should be the taking part, and I mean, England team did amazing to get to the final. I mean, that's like unbelievable, and they managed to take Italy all the way through 120 minutes as well, and then it got
Fantastic goal after 2 minutes, and like nobody's even mentioned that. It's
yeah.
just about racism and stuff. I didn't want to get into the racism bit.
Yeah, it's horrible, that isn't it? Yeah, but yeah. Oh, your words summed it up really lovely. Excellent. All right, Craig, what have you got for us?
I hate to tread on Val's toes, but we're going to have to, right? This one's called "It's Coming Home." Nation states are an outdated Western European phenomena, and competitive sport is nothing but a pure excuse for repressed men to experience emotional release. But still, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home. Any result will be turned into a show of nationalism by racist, sexist, fascist, and homophobic sections of England's fan base. But still, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home. England have never won a final against any extant nation. But still, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home. England lost. But still, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home.
Yeah, you make a good point there, Craig. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of the other side of it, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. All right. Follow that, Kevin. Have you got another football? Because it'll be a hat trick of football ones if we've got them in three in a row.
No, this isn't football. It's called The Next Big Question. Sleep. What is it? Do I need it? Do I really need it? How many years have I thought about it? Into the long, dark night. Passing into one of those unwilling states, moving on that darkness, from darkness into light. Unknowing, I have moved from one world into another. I have arrived through a door the thickness of a shadow. Time passes from one sleep to the next. What happens between it is a mystery, a parallel universe in which we dwell. Or do we? I truly cannot say. I have no proof. In the emptiness of a universal dream, I sit upon a roof surrounded by water. I will be there for eternity. Below me, I can see the light of the television reflected upon the water. Nothing much on. Next to it, a smudge of red. The digital clock, my night companion. I awake. I have returned. The next big thing on my mind. Why am I here? Thank you.
Yeah, very good, Kevin. There's some big questions there, man. Yeah. We all think about that, I guess, don't we? Yeah. Wonder what the answer is.
What inspired that poem actually was partly to do with the talk that Stuart Lee did on the radio. And he said, like, when he was doing his stand-up stuff, and he says to himself, why am I here? And yeah, I thought, yeah, I know the feeling.
I meant to listen to that and I forgot, so you've reminded me. I'll be able to catch it on Sounds.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Cool. I'll check it out. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Thank you.
Roz, what have you got for us?
I guess I've got the answer to Kevin, actually. Or actually, no, I've got the fact that I don't know the answer to Kevin, but yeah, I called this valid arguments, and it's a silly one, as I might realised. If I had a theory to expound, I'm sure it'd be very profound, poignant, well received and renowned. But so far, every idea I've found has previously been around. And while other people's views abound, my head feels like a battleground. I've pondered, considered, and frowned. Inside my head, it begins to pound with muddled thoughts that confound. And philosophically speaking, I'm drowned because none of my arguments are sound. And that's the answer to everything in my head.
That's great. I think there is something profound in that. There is. It's the overload of information, isn't it?
I think 69 is as good an answer as any, to be honest.
Oh, we're getting into the realm of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, aren't we? In 42.
Oh, right.
No, yeah, excellent. Okay, Jeanette, what wisdom have you got for us?
I've got no wisdom,
Oh, well,
but I've got a bit of a poem. But before I start, George, what's on your T-shirt? Let's keep looking. I can't read it all.
I'll try. Sic Transit Poeticus, George Colquito World Tour of Britain, 2000 and I've forgotten, 18. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! Like it.
I made up some T-shirts at one stage when I was doing a sort of some poetry stuff. I had a book out, so I made up the T-shirts. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Excellent. Like it.
It's your own merchandise.
Yeah. If anyone wants a T-shirt, I think I've still got it somewhere.
Cool. Sorry, Jeanette. What have you got for us?
No, I've got a poem called Definitions, which is football inspired. So definitions: association, connection, or cooperative link. Association football, a team sport played with a sphere between two teams of 11 players, played by around 250 million players in over 200 countries, the world's most popular sport. Sport, an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team compete against each other for game or entertainment. Game, an activity engaged in for fun or play. Play, activities performed for fun that have behavioural, social or sporting rewards. Sporting, a person who behaves in a good or specified way in response to teasing, defeat or a similarly trying situation. A shootout penalty, a trying situation which determines which team is awarded victory in a match that cannot end in a draw. Penalty, a punishment imposed for breaking a law, rule or contract. Punishable, despicable disrespect of others' anthems for wanting the same for their nations as we do for ours. Despicable, abhorrent biting of the hand that feeds. Abhorrent, discriminative behaviour and antagonism against fellow humans. Humanity, strength of individual commitment and the force of collective action to relieve suffering, to build empathy and hope. Hope, 3 lines on a shirt, solidarity over hate. 3 lines on a shirt, so many sneers, but all those oh so nears weigh you down through the years. 3 lines on a shirt, help me keep on dreaming, as the nation I believe in holds its breath. After all, the 1966 World Cup final was restored to colour for the benefit of today's audience. And that is that.
Yeah, very, very powerful words there, Jeanette.
Thank you. That's very good. Really wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. Yeah.
I like the part where I was thinking about this a lot, that the whole concept of penalty and the way you described it. I mean, my thoughts about the whole thing that happened is that they should get rid of that whole thing and reconstruct the process of what happens with a draw. And they need creativity. And I think that a lot of the people who run these football associations, they don't have much in their head to change things, because the idea of a penalty is a punishment. So why should someone, those three men, as Gareth Southgate said, will have for the rest of their lives? And they were there right to the end. They brought the whole country to, to the final. And yet their
Totally.
award is like, you said, it's a penalty. And why should anybody bear that when, they're part of a team? And
Yeah, Kevin, I remember that way back. I don't know if you recall, but way back, it was settled by the toss of a coin. If you couldn't settle it
yeah,
after
yeah,
time, it was settled in the toss of a coin. And then people
yeah.
said, but we should be using the skills of the game. But I actually think, to some extent, the penalties are a lottery as well. It is chance to some extent. I know you could say it's skill, but to a certain extent, it's also chance. Does the goalkeeper dive the right way? Does, all sorts of things. I think it'd be fairer if you actually just got to the end of extra time and the two captains got together and you tossed a coin. Then each nation can go away ranting about the vagaries of tossing coins, and then we're blaming
Yeah.
individuals, But that's
Yeah.
just, I think we should go back to the old system and say, at the end, we can't separate you. It's just going to be a matter of chance.
I think they should just play until there's a result, even if it takes 3 hours. That's
Sorry,
my
that
suggestion.
reminds me. Play until everybody in the pitch dies and the last one standing. Yeah.
Play until somebody drops of exhaustion.
Well,
Maybe
keep
maybe
going
they,
to the drop. That's
maybe they
part
should,
of
maybe they should have just split the trophy and they get it for 6
Yeah.
months or 2 years or whatever. And we get it for 2 years.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Oh
it's
well.
sad the way it turned out. Not just the game, but what's happened since.
Hmm.
Shameful.
Well, that was a good round.
Thanks for the part. Yeah, brilliant. Lovely.
I've got a video that Mark Griffith sent over, and it's a song, and it's about 6 minutes. So that might take us up to when we sort of finish this first half, and then we can sign back in again.
All right.
But I'll do the screen share, and we can see what it looks like, sound open, and sounds like. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't slight you for your lack of kind. She stepped away from me, and this she did say, it will She stepped away from me, and she moved through the fair. And fondly I watched her move here and move there. She went her way homeward with one star awake as the swan in the evening moved over the lake. Last night she came to me, my young love, she came in, and so softly she entered, her feet made no din. She came close beside me, and there she did say, it will not be long, love. Not be long, love, till our wedding day. It will not be long, my love, till I
Okay, Mark Griffiths. He'd said it was a folk song, and he was, a little bit out of his comfort zone. But I thought it was really good, and I hadn't seen that because he emailed it just before we came on and did this. So that's good. And he wanted Tony to see it, but Tony's not here. But I'll send Tony the link to this when it goes online, and he'll hopefully he'll enjoy that. Okay, we've only got a minute, so I'll push the button if we all sign back in, and then we'll have another go around the room. Fastest finger first, George.
Yeah, I'm getting used to these things occasionally. Started off, it seemed such a strange procedure, but I actually quite like them now.
Well, they may be carrying on for a little while yet. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but actually it'd be quite nice if when it's weather like this to actually I was just up in Stirling for the afternoon there, and we were talking about quite nice to get away and actually book into little hotels locally to places, and you discover so much more. You know, I don't know about you, but the number of times I've gone like a tourist to London, and then you find that if you're working there for a week or something like that, you suddenly see the city in a totally different way, because you're not going specifically to look at something. You're not, you just kind of seen the buzz and the whole place. But I think there's a lot to be said, and that's the joy maybe of the poetry community. You could go out and go to different places with a purpose, but you would be there for a wee bit longer than just being a tourist, sort of going and picking up the tourist spots.
Yeah, it's like being on tour, like your T-shirt, and then you're there to do a gig, but you get to soak up some of the atmosphere for a couple of days.
Although, if I remember correctly, I remember, people from the bands that were on usually say they've never, and I remember going to business meetings and folk would say, "Oh, the Channel Islands must have been fantastic yesterday." And you say, "Actually, what I saw was the airport and a hotel room for 8 hours."
Oh man, what were you doing in the Channel Islands?
Oh, it was just a tax consultancy thing. It was just boring as could be. But well, I suppose it wasn't boring in the sense there was quite a lot of money hinging on it. But I mean, it was one of those things where you fly in. Actually, sorry, our meeting was actually in the airport, so I never left the airport building, because we just went to the side and we found a little enclave bit at the side, and we had a 4-hour meeting in this bit, and I got back on the plane and flew back again.
Oh my goodness, you just do it on Zoom now, wouldn't you?
Well, I would think so. I mean, when you think about it, in those days, I mean, you get people that travel all across the country to meet for 2 hours, and you'd have the amount of cost to everybody, to businesses. When you think now, you would just do something like this. Well,
Right.
hopefully you just do something like this.
You'd have to set it up in each office. You'd have to contact each office. There's like 6 offices.
Yeah.
And get them to set up individually. And it's right forever to do a video conference. And this is only like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And if you had Zoom, it would just have been so much easier.
Do you remember I remember a time when BT had some sort of conference hub place or something in various. There was one in the centre of Glasgow where you could go into this BT room and they arranged different video or telephone conference calls or something. I can't actually remember, but I remember at one stage they were putting around information about this. Instead of going all across the country, your people could go into the various BT hub offices, and they would be in these rooms, and we would connect them all together so you could have a conference. But then I'm in days before computers, and when computers, you carried about the amount of memory that was in some of these. Well, I remember days of, what was it, 5.5-inch floppies or something, and Amstrad things that had 64K of memory.
One of those. It's an ancient artifact now.
Yeah, somewhere I've got an old computer I hope might be worth money sometime, but I've got a feeling that the places it's stored are probably thrown it out now. It predates MS-DOS, it predates DOS. What was it, CPM or something, operating system?
I don't know, it's getting way back in time.
A portable computer that weighed about 2.5 tons, you slung it over your shoulder on a strap, and it was 2 feet long by 6 inches wide by 1.5 feet deep.
Oh Lord, no, and now they're this, and now they're this. Amazing. Anyway, less of this reminiscing about old technology. Oh goodness, it's like an updated version of the Four Yorkshiremen sketch or something, isn't it? You had floppy disks, yeah, lucky you are. All right. Yeah, a lot of the poems have been about the issues coming out of the football and the stuff, and we did the recent Unity Festival event, and one of the lead-up events to that was a little workshop I was involved while I was running, and we came up with some words and then wove those words and turns of phrase into little poems. And here's a couple of little poems. And we said obviously unity was the theme, and one of the people there, Unity Mitford, popped into their head, and Unity Mitford used to hang out with the Nazis, so that was a strange thing to bring into a Unity festival. So anyway, this is a poem about the ideas for the Unity Festival. Unlike Unity Mitford's questionable friends, Unity Festival hopes to provide understanding, to teach respect about people who live in our interwoven society, with the message now growing from Carlisle, Kendal, Barrow, and beyond. Like Lego bricks, we build a complex structure. We're moving toward a better tomorrow today, hopefully. There you are. And there was another little one that we came up with. If you'll forgive me, I'll just, because that was quite a short one. This is a little limerick that there was three of us chipped in and threw together lines, and it was Gail who was in the library, I think in Ambleside, I think, but that might be wrong. And she gave us the first line of, "There was an old girl in the library." And we had to figure out something between us. So we had, "There was an old girl in a library whose fines paid for her finery. When stamping a book, she shot a stern look. It's lucky I'm open to bribery." Thank you. That was a group effort. There you are. George, follow that.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll try. I don't think I'll manage, but I'll try. Actually, funnily enough, I realised that this goes back to some of the conversations we were having about race and things. And it's also, funnily enough, it was before the final, and I didn't watch a lot of the football. But equally, partly because of the commentators, because I really, in this instance, I really quite like the English team, and I really quite like Gareth Southgate, and I didn't find anything about the team to annoy me in a sense that sometimes it has in the past. But equally, I get really annoyed with the Scottish commentators when they get to this stage and they started at the beginning saying Scotland could maybe go all the way and even win this tournament, and I thought, they're rubbish. Sorry. This is just that. If they did, it would be a travesty. They are not good enough to deserve to. Sorry, I'm I've got to say this as an excuse before I read the poem, because the poem is a rant, and I hope it doesn't come across as English. It's anti a type of sentiment that comes out at times. But this is a rant. There has to be a time for the broken. Mary Seacole, come comfort the casualties. Not known, not heard, not seen, not wanted nurse or casualty, both casually discarded into mists of time and blood and heroes and acceptable. See the light? Don't you see the bloody lamp? Don't you know the dead are honourable? Don't you know your places with the glorious? Carved in marble with Gothic lettering, with the weight of empire, with Christian virtue. Can you not hear Big Ben ringing his clappers? Are you not laughing now? Where is your humour? Englishmen laugh at pain, danger, and suffering, especially if it is of others, of the lesser, of the heathen, of the to be saved by the kiss of Wellington, Churchill, whichever bloody saint killed your mythical dragon. Thanks. Just to touch on that reference at the beginning of Mary Seacole, I'm guessing that most of you know Mary Seacole, but she was actually the nurse of Scutari. She was actually the woman that did a lot for the soldiers, but unfortunately, she was coloured and she did not come from an advantaged background. So Florence Nightingale came back as the hero of the Crimea, and Mary Seacole got very little recognition whatsoever, but the soldiers would swear by her, and she went on to do other amazing work. But I did not know anything about her until I was in my 50s, I think, or 60s. And I thought at the time, this is a disgrace that this woman who did such phenomenal stuff was totally overlooked, but her skin color was wrong and her background was wrong. And I find that's and the problem is that it still to some extent exists today in a lot of countries around the world. I'm not just talking about in Scotland, England and Wales, but so many places. If you're from the wrong background and the wrong religion, colour, creed, space, you don't get it. Anyway, I'll shut up. That's my rant.
Oh, no. It was a good rant. Thanks for sharing it, George. It was, yeah. Sometimes we just get motivated by things that really make us angry, and that can be a really good force or a really good inspiration for stuff. Yeah, don't knock it. Good stuff comes out, words and getting a point across. It's good. I think there's been a lot like that this evening. It's been, yeah, good. Okay, Val, do you have another one, Val?
No, I just had the one today, Phil.
That's okay. It was a good one. Thank you. All right then. Has Craig got another one then?
Yes, I've got another one somewhere. It's called Yum. Cast adrift, we plummet through the years, alone in a maliciously uncaring universe. Infinity yawns and the void calls. So yes, we'd like to see the dessert menu.
Yeah. Very funny. Yeah, and that's good. Yeah, and there's some, I think that's probably deep as well. Yeah, some philosophical, something's philosophical in there. The nature of humanity.
Yeah, need a proper long dessert spoon to get to the bottom of
I was going to jump in and say it's certainly not a trifle, Craig.
that.
Good, good. Okay. Kevin, do you have another? You haven't got another one either? Sorry, you're on mute, Kevin, but we can do charades.
No, I haven't got anything. I looked, but I just, I don't know. It's like when I look at stuff that I've done, I think I don't want to say that. I mean, some of it's too small a type because they're quite old now, I suppose, relatively. So I'd have to enlarge them and stuff. But then I think, well, I think things fundamentally changed when COVID came,
Mm.
and it kind of like watershed in what you're thinking, and it affects everything really. So it puts things back there. You wish you could go back there and pick up certain things, but there's too much new things going on, and I try and do one a week, ready for SpeakEasy or for the Poets Out Loud. So I'm hoping to increase my quantity, if you like, but it sometimes takes a long time.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
It's just when the words are there, you can't force them.
yeah. I'd like to know about the Solfest one, Phil. It sounded quite interesting.
Yeah, they just posted a little link on the SpeakEasy Facebook page. So
I'll have a look. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Okay, Roz, do you have a second piece? A second piece?
I was going to read this, which I read a little while back. I think I read it up at Zucchini's because I went to that Dorothy Wordsworth thing last week or the week before, whenever it was. And it made me think about it. I read this about the statue, and it kind of ties in with some of the stuff because I was thinking more about the place of women, I suppose. But it doesn't really slot very well son, so it doesn't come across too well. Never mind, you can have it. Dorothy. Oh, it's also about the statue. She used to be up in the park, and I'll only read the poem tells you that. Dorothy, they brought you down from Harris Park and into town, placed you down on Sullet Street, but your return is not complete. You're ostracised and left alone to gaze. I'm going to put the light on. Sorry. Musical chairs again. Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Well, this will be like a really smooth edit. Don't worry.
You just put me out of here. Oh well. Right, where to go? Yeah, you're ostracised and left alone. Gazed upon your former home. When I was young, I used to sit in your drinking fountain bit. In some forgotten childhood game, I draped my body round your frame, as over Cockermouth we'd stare, while I caressed your marble hair. Although I knew your every bit, I never read a word you writ. I assumed you were created, just because you were related, and it fulfilled your destiny to be the sister of a man who wrote poetry. That's as much as I knew about Dorothy Wordsworth as a child. I used to sit on her head.
I hope you learned a lot more on that walk and things. How was the walk, by the way?
Well, we didn't do the walk. We watched a film and we listened to some poems by the Eden poets. And I think it was that Jules who comes on here. I think she was in the film. She had huge, big, dark glasses on. So I didn't know if that was a film star look or she was hiding. I wasn't too sure.
Yeah.
But it was quite a good hour-long presentation. And I've only done the middle section of the walk, which was 16 miles from Keswick to Dunmail Raise. So I've got 2 more bits to do. Well, yeah, 2 more bits.
Cool.
And that's that.
Oh, well, that's good. You'll have to let us know if there's more events happening.
It's all poetry type things. Yeah, I don't. I'll have a look. I will try and remember to let you know. Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you want me to say something else, or shall I keep it for when you go round again? If we're going round again.
Keep it for next time, and we'll go round one more time.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, Roz. Thank you. Okay, Ginetto.
One thing I've done this year, just to make myself right, and also another reason it's free, is I've tried to enter the competition for Press 53, and it's a 53-word story each month. So June's theme was whistle. So this was my entry. Removal day. He screwed his eyes, clenched his fists. This distracted him from his shaking legs, whilst he fretted over what was about to happen. It had nagged for days. He'd twiddled, fiddled and tugged. Then the thread was pulled. The deed was done. Relief resounded through the gap where his tooth used to be. Thank you.
Oh, that's brilliant. You captured that so amazingly. It's just, yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
So, do they get? Where do they go then? You say you're doing a there's a monthly.
Yeah, it's Press 53. I think it's an American site. I've just been having a look on there. But yeah, it's just a free competition. I think they do publish and you can submit for anthologies and things. But this one's free and it's just a bit of fun. The prompt for this next month, I think, is train. So if anybody fancies a go.
Yes,
I think the deadline is the 15th of each month, and they announced
tomorrow.
No, I think towards the end of the month, ready for the publication of the month after.
Along those lines, then, Jeanette, just to mention, and I presume it's open international, if you like. Scottish Book Trust. The Scottish Book Trust do one which is a 50-word thing. They put up
All
a
right.
prompt every month. I think it's a picture prompt. I mean, there's certainly a prompt. It's a while since I've looked at it. It's on the Scottish Book Trust website. And the other one that people might be interested in is Visual Verse. Visual Verse put up, if you're interested in doing an ekphrastic type poem, Visual Verse put up an image every month on the first of every month. So if you look up the website, just Visual Verse will get it. They put up an image every month, but once you've entered, what they do is they tend to send you an email on the first of every month telling you that the latest image is up, and you respond. You're meant to respond within an hour, not within an hour. They ask you to only take an hour to write your poem based on the image. But I mean, I think clearly a lot of people take longer than that. But I do tend to try and actually stick to that instruction, if you like, because it's meant to be a kind of initial reaction to what the image is. But those are both free. You just enter, and they put up something like 80 to 100 of what they get in Visual Verse. I don't know what Scottish Book Trust do, to be honest. It's a long time since I've looked at it. Sorry to interrupt, but just so when you were talking about those things.
That's great. Yeah, look them up.
Cool. And you just have to take 3 words out of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Cool.
Yeah, but it would have to be.
Hyphens.
It'd have to be the same topic.
Yeah.
I bend the rules, bend them.
Cool. Oh well, we're back to me because Mark only sent that the one song. So this one's this came out of another workshop I found myself taking, and this was for a refugee charity based in London, but through the miracle of Zoom they were able to meet up with people from across the UK. And again, we had a theme of unity and walking together. And this goes like this. Through working together in the chain of solidarity which links us all, we can make ourselves proud and find strength in togetherness through respect, love, and listening. Our belief in community reveals our humanity and ability to help, and in doing so, make new friends. There you are. Thank you very much. Okay, George, what have we got?
Yeah, strangely enough, this next one came out of a workshop thing I was working on at one stage. Actually, it was a week-long course. But this is from the point of view of a tree and the life of a tree. So this is beech, sapling. The ground is sweet. I drink and drink this well of good soil. I know where the cold winds come, the harsh gusts. I am supple. Let them do their worst. I will cling and bend. Pigs nuzzle me. Deer are banned from my place. A sanctuary of fenced forest, a garden of earthly delights. In my bark are scars love has carved, but not reached my heart, nor cut me to the quick. I am a plaything to youth and lass, a toy to be toyed with. I have my satisfaction, for I will outlive them and their children and their children's children. Mature. Lightning struck me, core split to insect heaven, mosses climb higher. The farmer brings his pigs fattening for slaughter. His daughter is middle-aged, tries to scratch away a heart, but I have grown since her man made that promise, broken more easily than my twigs under weight of snow. I see to the west my daughter mark her height against the fence. She is sheltered by my canopy, will flourish when I die. Ancient. I awoke dressed in porcelain, white mushroom from root to tip of every branch, mycelium feeding on my decay. Daughter, in my shadow will soon be free. I am ready to fall or for the cut.
Yeah, that was good, George. That was really good. Yeah, it's amazing when you join a workshop and you sort of have to focus on a particular topic, and then it's all these ideas pop into your head.
And funnily enough, it was that end image of the tree covered in white. I came out in the foot of the garden in the house or the neighbour's garden, the house I once had, we were flatted, and at the bottom there was an ancient beech tree. And I woke one morning, went out, and thought it had been snowing. Suddenly, more or less overnight, the mushrooms had broken out in every branch in the tree, running all the way to the tips of the smallest branch. And they also came in great. The ones nearest the trunk, where it was big, were the biggest. And they, it was as though someone had deliberately decorated all these branches. I was absolutely blown away. This tree suddenly was white. Of course, it was dying, and in that year, the guy had to cut it down because he was terrified that this thing that was 60 feet, 80, I don't know how it was, 60 feet high, would fall in the road and kill somebody. But it was just, it was such, if you ever get a chance to see it, it's such a wonderful sight. I mean, it sounds, but it is absolutely glorious.
Yeah, it's that exquisite sort of beauty that's in nature, even though it's sort of that nature of decay and
yeah.
Cool. All right. I know Val's read the poem for today, so Craig, do you have a third for us, Craig?
I'm onto ones that I've stole now.
Oh well,
I'll just do it.
You steal them so well.
I'll just do a quick stolen one. Embrace imposter syndrome. Revel in the fact that you have fooled everyone. You are a trickster god. You are the imposter child of deception and clever ruses. Thank you.
Yeah, nicely stolen and nicely done. Good. Yeah, Kevin's done the one as well. So, Roz, do you have another one for us?
Let me loose again. This was just at the bottom of the other one, and it's 5 lines long, so I thought you can cope with this. It might even be 6. It's called Theory. I have a theory, quite unfounded, not statistically grounded, because my cohort's small, you see, the only person in it's me. I can, though, guarantee its truth, because I am the living proof. And that was that.
Oh, you can use statistics to prove anything, can't you? If they're used the right way.
Even that I'm wonderful, yeah.
We knew that. Okay. Janetto, do you have another one for us?
Yeah, it's kind of a work in progress, so bear with me. The other week I went to Manchester, had a little bit of a wander around myself, which I loved. And one of my favourite places is the Central Library. I like to go in a reading room, and in there I kind of composed this bit of a poem, but it was inspired by the words that are written around the ceiling. I don't know if anybody's been in there or seen them. It's from a proverb. So anyway, this is called Desk D2, Wolfson Reading Room, Manchester Central Library, 12 o'clock PM, 17th of June 2021. And As the door wafts behind me, I walk into silence. Enveloped in stillness, it embraces the dust of well-held books and well-loved desks, with chair arms polished. From scratches of ink to keyboard clicks, the seats still hold all learners of every age. Wisdom looks out beyond masks as eyes raise to the ceiling. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all I get in, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honour when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Thank you.
Really good. Really, really good. All righty then. We've done 3 times round. Do we want to do any more? Are we all knackered? Do we want to call that a night, or do we want to do any more? Does anybody want to read anything else? No, we're all sleepy poets. Well, it's been very warm and it's summer. We should be on holiday anyway. Shall we wrap it up there then? Yeah. All
Ruth
right.
just popped out in the door to say that my food is on the table.
Oh, well, if it's dinner time, then we've timed it perfectly.
Yeah. I had a good day today, though, in Carlisle, of all places.
Oh, right.
Don't go anywhere now. But yeah, it was good. Sitting in the gardens at Tully House was nice. And then outside the old town hall.
Oh, great.
Some of my family.
That's fantastic. And you had glorious weather because it's been sunny.
It was great. Yeah, it was great in the gardens of Tully House. I felt I was in France or somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Really nice enclosed space.
Some friends of mine are getting married on Saturday there, and I've been asked to do the photographs for them. So
right.
Fingers
Nice
crossed.
one.
It's nice weather again on Saturday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, be really good.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, it's his sister getting married, and she'd said to him, she'd gone, Mike, do you know anybody who does photography? And he'd gone, no, I don't. And she said, what about your friend Phil? And he'd gone, oh yeah. So I'll have to have words with him when I see him.
Well, having a dead rant about various things tonight, I think it was Stirling, and the staff that who were serving the hotel were lovely. There was other people in the place. There's folk out with prams and children and things. And I think it's important to remember that actually the bulk of the world is actually nice. You'd think from some of the times the politicians speak that we're all there trying to harm each other and trying to do down. And in fact, most of us are just trying to be nice to each other. Sorry, that sounds a bit wishy-washy, but fundamentally it is that the world in general is a nice place.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make it worse by putting all these things in place, like penalty rules.
Yeah. People in charge make it difficult. But I think generally, you're right. I think, people are lovely everywhere. Give yourselves a round of applause, everyone who read. And everybody who sang. Everyone who listened. And thank you all for coming along. And get home safe. And we'll probably do another one on Zoom for SpeakEasy at the end of the month, and then we'll see where we are. And depending on the situation, we might still be on Zoom for a little while, just until things sort of find an even keel. So,
okay.
Mark that I like this song. I have to tell Mark that I like this song.
I will. We will. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, good though. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I can't remember who it was by, but it was sung by Mark Griffiths, and he sung it very well.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed it.
Cool. All right. See you in a couple of weeks. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Phil.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.